60,000 people jammed Football Park for the Centenary Grand Final. The match that everyone in the football fraternity, and in fact involved in sport in South Australia, has been waiting for so long. Glenelg versus Port Adelaide, and most appropriate that Port Adelaide should be involved. The great club of South Australian football making its 41st appearance in a Grand Final. Glenelg, the 8th club admitted in 1921, making its 8th appearance. There were very few moves before the game. Everybody got to the ground in one piece, to the relief of all officials. John McFarlane, the very gritty wingman, was left out of Glenelg's 21, which was disappointing for him. He's had a disappointing year. And Kim Curtis, a young man from Port Augusta, was left out of Port Adelaide's 21. The thing that everybody was wondering is who would start at centre-half forward for Port Adelaide. Eventually, that job was given to David Granger, a hard Victorian, a very competitive player, given the job of opposing Paul Weston, a very accomplished centre-half back. Umpires Peter Mead and Robin Bennett. Robin Bennett, standing in his first Grand Final, were given the job. Your commentators are Ted Langridge and Ian Day.
The contest, the opening bout of the 1977 Grand Final. John Spry of Port Adelaide and Wayne Phillis of the Bays. Hodgman Bays into attack, kicking towards the lake end. Port Adelaide won the toss. Michael Farquhar. Good mark in the opening seconds. Port Adelaide won the toss and kicked to the golf course end, or the southern end. Very little breeze. Perfect conditions. A capacity crowd. Farquhar in towards full forward. Kerry sets himself. Play on is the call. Port Adelaide kick clear through Cunningham. The outer side. Warren out there. And the free kick will go the way of Graham Corns, or it's Ivan Eckerman in the scene there. It's a free kick to Glenelg. To be taken once more by Michael Farquhar on the half-forward line. And we see the ball going in the opposite direction. Umpire Peter Mead has seen an infringement in the goal square, and he's taken the ball away from Michael Farquhar and given it to Eckerman on the half-back line.
Ivan Eckerman's kick goes over centre wing where the pack sets again. The whistle blows and marks high to Graham Corns. Centre wing outer side. Glenelg back into the forward line again. Not a long kick. Big Randall Gerlach. Gerlach almost at centre-half back. He takes the kick. Plenty of tension. Across the centre of the ground. Greg Phillips out there, well up from full-back. He's a long way out of the full-back ground. Players very tough. Johnson 15-metre forward. Just forward to the centre now. Phillips drives Port Adelaide up towards the forward pocket. The Glenelgans couldn't take it. Rexy Voigt. Close to the boundary. Brian Cunningham sees the ball over the line on the forward. He'll get the free kick. Crowded forward line for Port Adelaide. Cale on the lead. Evans now on the lead. Freddie Phillis took the mark, but received the free kick prior to the mark being paid. In the back pocket as he takes the kick. Phillis coming grandstand side. A nice-looking drop punt. Wayne Phillis has set himself spry. An important battle between those two players today. Even in for Port Adelaide. Right. Cunningham on the half-forward line. Port Adelaide into attack again, up towards Evans. Phillis in front. Evans almost pulls down a great mark. James conceding ground. Caldwell coming in to claim that player. Fry overruns it. Highwood out the Rady, but in the meantime, a free kick has gone the way of Port Adelaide. David Holtgren straight past the ball and took John Spry on face-to-face.
Spry in the big square, puts it out in front of Sorrell. Big leap. At the back of the pack there, Weston. Free kick.
Weston disposed of when he didn't have the ball. He'll get the free kick, about 30 metres out from the goal line. Now going towards the lake end, and he pushes it out towards the centre wing. Again, Port Adelaide moving forward. Melton gets the bad bounce. Cale was there, back to Paul Melton. And it goes short by Trevor Sorrell. 45 to 50 metres from goal with the breeze behind him. Still a tricky angle. First shot at goal, what could be the first score. Comes off the right-hand side of the boot. The accuracy not there. The mark to David Granger, the right forward pocket. And again, a very tight angle for Port Adelaide to shoot from.
David Granger starting at centre-half forward for the Magpies. There's plenty of speculation about who would line up there against the talented Paul Weston. David Granger got the pack. Will he justify the selector's faith in him? Kicks the goal and misses it, but the first score of the match on the board for the Magpies. 1 point.
Tension is terrific, Ted. Obviously the players can feel it as well, but the big crowd, capacity crowd, at fever pitch for this grand final. Coach John Cale. Can he get it this year after an unsuccessful bid last season? The kick in by Phillis to the outer side. Wayne Phillis, brother, great mark. Strong mark in the pack on the half-back line. Continues down the outer side, looking for Carey. Edged out, Peter White in defence. He's at centre wing at the moment. Port Adelaide centre half back now, screws a magnificent kick towards his half forward line. Wayne Phillis back there again, 1-2 grab. Dorrell over the top, lights in, but Hodgman comes away. Comes right across goal. Weston it was. Towards Warren. And Warren gets the free kick.
Well, Glenelg showing more signs of nerves at the moment to me, Ian. They're giving away free kicks when they could be perhaps going into attack. There's a poor kick from Warren. Steve Highwood gets boot the ball. He's had grand final experience, and Tim Hodgman's there to accept it. Quickly into attack, looking for Carey. Phillips almost pulled it down. His opponent, Copping, gets the chance to go goalward. In towards the goal square. Pate can't get there in time. Hits the ground. Hannon for Port Adelaide. A beautiful tackle put on him by Farquhar. Pate's intercepted now. Kinnear's there. Out in front of Hannon again. Kinnear dealt with after the ball is gone. And Twiggy Caldwell, the offender, Tim Kinnear to take the kick in the back pocket for Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide with the only score on the board at the moment. 1 point, Glenelg gets the score.
Kick going back to Kinnear, the Port Adelaide wingman who's come deep in defence to help his defenders get the ball out of that back pocket. Kinnear directs play towards the outer side. Gee, that's a magnificent kick from a player not very tall. Tap back, McInerney in the action. Ebert throws it out towards Cale. Has to meet the body heavily. Has won the free. Did it well. Darryl Cale from Jackside of centre. Has Belton running clear. Backside of centre. Cunningham in the forward pocket. Stretches for the ball and takes a good mark. Light is short. Into the pocket goes Sorrell, but he's putting it up for the big hands of Tim Evans. Sets himself in the square. Big mark almost over the top by Corns. Here's a chance for Evans if he can pick it up. Phillis overruns it. The Bays defending desperately through Herco, Corns, McInerney, and they come out of defence to Caldwell.
Caldwell on the half-back flank as he brings the ball clear and fires it up the centre wing. Hodgman from behind, pulls in the mark and then plays on quickly. Glenelg prepared to go into attack. Hake and Gerlach, the ball brought to the ground. Farquhar goes goalwards, goes to goal and makes no mistake in the first place of the game on the board to Michael Farquhar. Glenelg 1 goal, Port Adelaide 1 point of the ball from half-back, rebounded through centre wing, carried forward by smaller player Hodgman into the forward line. Off the hands of the big fellows that came, and Michael Farquhar driving towards goal, made no mistake and got the first one for Glenelg. They lead by 5 points, 6 points to 1.
John Nichols obviously happy with his teenager's performance. Spry and Phillis. Spry grabs the ruck. Out in front of Johnson, gets a bad bounce. White fists Port Adelaide into attack. Rex Boyd coming back after a bad knock. Gets the ball back towards centre wing. He's been flattened. He has been flattened on the half-back line. A free after disposal. Rex Boyd in the wars in recent weeks, but the free upfield will go to Darryl Rady.
Granger was the offending player. It would be no surprise if he's been reported, Ian.
Rady's kick is high towards the half-forward line. Ball to ground. Spry out in front of the running Hannon. Hannon in the half-back line to James. Port Adelaide going to attack. Puts it up for Evans. Can't grab it. He's got the ball now. Into the open goal. And Port Adelaide have got their first goal on the board. Well, the ball was taken quickly down ground as Spry got out the handball. James strode into attack. Evans came to meet the ball, but all the pressure in the world was put on him. But as the ball rebounded off the Bay defence, he grabbed it again and strode into the open goal. And Port Adelaide have hit the front here at the 9-minute mark of the first quarter. Port Adelaide 1-1, 7 points. Glenelg 1 goal, 6. You're with Channel 7 on the big replay.
9-minute mark and Glenelg trail by a point at the moment. Takes tap away, followed through to McInerney. Waited too long but evades the tackle. Now Glenelg over half forward into the forward pocket. Cannon with a fist away. The ball back to Hodgman. Farquhar cleverly tapped it. Set up now for Copping in the forward pocket. He's got Wayne Phillis loose in the goal square. He's also got Carey loose, but oh, he goes short. Cannon intercepts. Golden opportunity for the Bays when begging. Cannon makes no mistake, down towards centre wing. Corns couldn't complete the grab. Holtz took Ebert out of it, allowed Corns back in. McInerney, Ebert through. Spring got him by. Finds Puklesia out in front of Bruce Light. He's hotly pressed. Brady came down, follows the ball along, over half back. Bruce Light and David Johnson go together. And I think there's a report. Bruce Light supported. David Johnson was defended against player, but Brady takes the kick. Goes in short and finds Rexy Boyd.
Just shows the tremendous tension in this game, Ted. Could have been 2 reports, most certainly 1. The kick to the half-forward line. Voigt there. Blake in front. Blakey being played the mark on the half-forward line. The Bays into attack once more. Trailing by the point. Carey sets himself, but he doesn't get the run at the ball. Comes to him now. Hooks it round to the open spaces. If it sits for Copping, he must get a goal. He slips, runs round Ackerman, hooked back towards goal. I think he's missed. Out of bounds on the full. Stephen Copping. Hands up in despair. The ball just wouldn't sit. When he did pick it up, he slipped. And Port Adelaide got out of what seemed to be a certain goal against them.
Len Warren to take the kick. Just clears the pocket, looking for Peter Voigt, but over that player's head. Spry and Phillis and Glenelg there in support for the Magpies. Phillis front position. McInerney. The Bays up towards the goal front area. Phillips, the fist away. Glenelg, good trap. Oh, puts Light in plenty of trouble. He loses it. Copping out into the open. Twiggy Caldwell, the snap at goal. Has it got the legs? Players in front. Cheryl Rady, desperate Emmett, but just as desperate Glenn Warren. Forced behind. Glenelg 1-1, tied away the scores with Port 1-1. 7 points apiece at the 12-minute mark.
Greg Phillips goes to the outer side with a drop punt. Caldwell out there, but a great mark by Max James. Typical James performance. On the half-back line at the moment. Forwards the ball to the outer side. The ground. Highwood in defence. Claimed by Paul Fleischer. Free kick Stephen Highwood. They half-back flank it from that half-back flank position will go. Come towards the centre of the ground. Wayne Phillis sets himself. Glenelg in attendance. Phillis has been played the mark. Streaming into attack is Leo. On the half-forward line, the Bays now go forward once more. Into the pocket on the lead. Copping, but can't make it. And the ball goes out of play in the full forward left pocket.
Still 7 points apiece. 12 and a half minutes played this first term. Jack Spry and Peter Carey this time, the ruckman of play. Carey's tapped down, but in doing so interfered with Spry. Spry taking plenty of time. Finally goes down towards half-back flank. The hand for Fleischer, well smothered. Cunningham. The kick away, Rexy Boyd. Streams into attack, lets it go, drops in short. Peter Voigt with a fist away from Carey. He's got the big job of minding Carey. Holst with a kick towards the forward pocket. In front, Phillips. Dealt with, did not have true possession of the ball. Greg Phillips. Kick dropped short, and the mark taken by Kim Cunningham. On the half-back flank, searches for the lead of Andy Puklesia. Finds him. Still not up to the centre line. Forwarding kick. Up towards the flank, and there's a free kick to go the way of Glenelg. The interference in the pack. Glenelg's kick towards the lead of Evans. He marks it. Freddie Phillis doesn't get there in time. And there's one grab specialist, Tim Evans. He's kicked 1 goal so far. Put the Magpies back in front. Scores are tied away as he kicks the ball. The kick, looks, hits the top of the both can put the Magpies 1 point only in front. 1 goal to Port Adelaide, Glenelg 1-1.
Phillis coming grandstand side, obviously considered to be the dead pocket. Carey sets himself. Big mark. The genial Giants on the half-back line. Forwards the ball towards the centre of the ground, looking for Wayne Phillis. Front position, tries to hook it back. Spry. Phillips. The long kick into attack for Port Adelaide once more. Western in defence for the Bays. Under pressure. Heavy tackle in by Granger. Forces Western to kick the ball out of play on the full. Max James on the half-forward right flank. Would be too far out to score. No doubt will look for the lead of Tim Evans. Puts it out in front of that player now. Phillis there, right with him. Evans can't get his hands to the ball over the back of the pack. It's Highwood. Runs into trouble, goes to ground. The long handball comes out towards Johnston, deep in defence for the Bays. Hooks it back towards his half-back line. For Pisha. Can't hold it. Light tries to wind his way through. Holding the ball, and the free kick goes to Tim Hodgman.
Tim Hodgman just behind the half-back line as he takes the kick. 15 minutes and not a great deal of score on the board so far. 8 points Port Adelaide and 7 points Glenelg. Goes short in towards Jimmy Leehu. Doesn't gain a lot of yardage. Leehu's kick goes towards half forward, but it's misdirected. Peter Wolf. Drive towards centre half forward. Granger drops back. Cale was there. Granger, both the Port Adelaide players go to ground. For Western. Finally gets the ball to Voigt. Highwood. Well, beautifully shepherded Jim Leehu, and Stephen Highwood gets clear kick towards the half forward.
Glenelg. Good mark, Randall Glenelg. Had the run of the play. Blake went with him, but the big man from Port Adelaide was in front. Just a check side of centre wing. Transfers play towards his half-forward line. Over the top of Max James. 2 spectacular marks in the opening minutes of the game. And a 15-metre penalty against Stephen Highwood will bring James now to within easy kicking distance. James towards the golf course end. 35 metres out. Drop punt underway. Umpire starting to move with the ball. He's guided it through. Second goal to Port Adelaide. And the Magpies lead now 2-2 to Glenelg 1-1. You're viewing the big replay on Channel 7.
Port Adelaide with a 7-point lead at the 17-minute mark of the first term. Have just about shared the play with Glenelg, but they've made a bit more, taken a bit more really of their opportunities up forward. Max James showing that he's going to be a thorn on the Glenelg side.
Glenelg having a run on the ball. Phillis gets the touch. Hodgman streaking out of the centre square. A long one in towards the forward pocket. Copping getting across. Couldn't bring it down. In defence, Ackerman. Cannon running the ball out of defence. Goes towards centre wing. Here's a chance now for Belt. The Magpies into attack again. Out in front there of David Granger. Herco close in attendance, and the ball fumbled out of play.
Ruckman forced to work again. This time it'll be Phillis and Randall Glenelg. Wayne Phillis, Randall Glenelg. Points to 7, Port Adelaide lead. Glenelg cooks the ball over the top of the pack, but Noddy Voigt was there. He finds Stephen Holst from the centre line. Glenelg goes deep into their attacking zone. Greg Phillips in front, doesn't pull it down. Bob Blake keeps the ball running for him. Comes up now, he gets boots the ball, and he's steered through. Got 4 points. The big fellow certainly kept the ball running, and what a good effort from one of the tallest players on the ground. Glenelg now back within 1 point as that ball came down from the centre from David Holt's kick over the back of the pack. Bob Blake kept running. First time he went to get it, couldn't do so, but then did and steered it through from a bleak angle for Glenelg's second goal. 2-1 Glenelg, Port 2-2.
The Bay camp looking very, very pensive indeed. Great deal of pressure. Glenelg. Big fist towards Granger. Western knocks it away. A chance for Voigt to clear. Overruns the ball. Cale in. Western back on the ball. Gets the kick out to Twiggy Caldwell at centre wing. Caldwell just the defence side of centre wing. Western starts to run for him. Puts it out in front of the centre half back. Barkwell looking to set up the loose man. He shepherds well. The kick in towards full forward. Peter White in defence, well clear. In command of the situation as he drives the ball back towards the centre circle. Wayne Phillis there. Plays first recover. Out to Johnson. High towards full forward. All Port Adelaide back there. Corn from the side. Warren over the top. But coming out of defence, it's Phillis.
Goes long out towards centre wing. Bruce Light will have two Glenelg players to compete with. Tries to keep it running. David Johnston's pace gets him in a good position. Boyd anticipated beautifully. Up further looking for McInerney. Over his to Rady. McInerney ran into the open space. Kicks long towards the goal square. Carey's there in front of the pack. It's Bob Lake who kicked the last goal for the Bays, and that was a beautiful movement to set up when Bruce Light was outnumbered. Noddy Boyd ran the risk, played positive football, set up the loose chain, and the two rovers between them, Rady and McInerney, saw the ball into the goal square for Pate to take the mark. Bob Pate makes no mistake, his second goal, and Glenelg's third. Glenelg, 3 goals, 1 lead, Port Adelaide, 2 goals, 2 at the 20-minute mark of the first term.
Well, at the moment, it's Wayne Phillis who's on top in the ruck, doing a tremendous amount of good work, tapping the ball down to the smaller players and helping the Bays run the ball in to attack. They've got away to a good start. They're kicking against any breeze, although the breeze is not going to have a great deal of effect in this game here this afternoon.
Centre bounce. Max James tears his way through the pack, sends in a magnificent kick towards the goal front. It clears the boundary line on the full. My gee, if that had been online, Freddie Phillis would have his work cut out to stop that. Yeah, that breeze looks to be going the way Port Adelaide are kicking to me.
Yes, well, I said the Bays kicking into the breeze in that first quarter, Ted. It's not very strong, though. Wayne Phillis.
Wayne Phillis again pulls down the mark. That big captain for the Bays today in the absence of Peter Marker. And the rumour is he may be playing his last game. Towards centre wing. Behind, Peter White tried to spoil with Carey and too good a grip on the ball.
Carey at centre wing. Brady on the half-forward line. Asked for the ball to be delivered towards him. He's going to have to set up to go hard, but it's Warren who reads the ball. It's off. Brady in there now. Players going hard. Warren comes out with it. Goes long to the half-forward line, but it's all Carey back there who takes the mark. Phillis at centre wing. The Bay strong man. Boots him into attack. Finds Caldwell at centre half-forward. Slightly towards the half-forward left flank. Coughing on the half-forward right flank. Looking for the ball, but Caldwell going in longer. The magnificent drop punt to the edge of the square. Corns over the back. Ball to ground, Copping. Cale in there, Corns. Slips out the ball. Right on the last line by Len Warren.
Warren, kick away. There's all Bay players there, and it's Wayne Phillis, but he drops it. Back to Carey. David Holt goes goalwards now. Sets it up. Giving it the right direction. And he's made no mistake. And then Glenelg recovering for the drop mark from Wayne Phillis. The ball to the bottom of the ground, back towards Carey. The hand pass was good. David Holst went in goalwards, made no mistake, and kicked his first goal and Glenelg's fourth. At the 22-minute mark, Glenelg, 4 goals, 1 lead. Port Adelaide, 2 goals, 2.
Now it's Port Adelaide's turn to look worried. Assistant coach Jeffrey Potter, reserve Blethyn and Giles. Carl Fragamini, the injured player, on the other side. Cale looking for a move now as the bounce goes down at the centre. Pate gets the tap to McInerney. The Bays into attack once more. Wayne Phillis there. Will come up with the ball. Looks for support. Gets it from Rady. The bounce put aside. 10 metres out. Ducks the tackle. Drives the goal, but he's just offline for 1 point. An excellent opportunity. He set himself up but couldn't quite convert.
Well, Glenelg in the last 5 or 6 minutes have been first into the ball, and they've made that ball really sing down the ground, and they're giving Port plenty of hurry up. Ebert winning the toss and kicking to the southern end. The breeze favouring that end. Now Phillips. Kick in season marked by Graham Corns on the half-forward flank for the Bays. Moves quickly towards Hodgman. Ebert through. Too late to spoil the mark. 24-minute mark of the first term. 14 points, Port trailing Glenelg, 26 points. Hodgman sees the lead on from Carey. Peter White from behind, and Carey too strong in the air. And only 25 metres out directly in front. Peter Carey sends the ball on its way, and has made no mistake. His first goal for the match is Glenelg Smith, and the Glenelg fans go mad. Glenelg move on to 5 goals 2, leading Port Adelaide 2 goals 2, a clear margin of 3 goals to Glenelg as we move into the time-on period.
Well, at the moment, there's more run in the Bay players' legs. They're making position well going through the half-forward line. The Port Adelaide defence is being unaware, and the Bays have certainly started off in grand style in the 77 grand final.
Centre bounce, the knock over towards Corn, the run on finds Hodgman towards the right half forward flank for the Bays. Tony Hannon leaves the ball behind. Recovery's good. Searches for Kim Kinnear. Port Adelaide to break away now into attack. Kinnear's kick. A lot of Port Adelaide players well under the drop of the ball, and Jimmy LaHoo made no mistake. In the back pocket as he takes the kick.
Into time on of the first quarter of the grand final. Spry from behind leaps. The ball forced out of play on the outer side. 5-2 Glenelg, 2-2 Port Adelaide. Good lead to the Bay, kicking into any breeze that there is in this first quarter. Pate makes front position. Corns gets a tremendous fist past Ackerman, but he backs up once more for Fleischer. Forwards the ball towards their centre half forward position. At the back of the pack waiting is Sorrell. Granger having trouble getting around. Back towards Sorrell, but it's Johnson all clear. David Holt about to be run down by Light, but he gets clear. Brady in trouble. Scoops it out towards Johnson. Ebert putting in the supreme effort. Back to Light. He's clear at centre wing. Now the Magpies a chance to go on. All one base
Behind the play, Holt and Ebert mixing it up.
And
Holt
Brady
had to go at Ebert, and he came straight back at him, right in front of umpire Peter Mead.
Brady limping badly at centre wing as well. Drama galore here in the 77 grand final.
Could even be 4 reports in the first quarter.
Ball out of play, full forward right pocket. Umpire's getting plenty of work to do in the first quarter. Granger gets the tap, back towards the boundary line once more. Darryl Rady looks to be in real trouble. Round about the calf or the ankle. Yes, he's coming off. Sid Jackson about to take his place.
Throw in, Pate, Granger, and a nullified tap over the boundary line. Been a lot of emphasis on the body in this first term, and some spiteful incidents. Perhaps you couldn't put them all down to grand final nerves either, Ian. 5-2 Glenelg, 2-2 Port Adelaide. Granger's tap over the top is good. Hale sets up to the lead of Evans. Phillis got good position. He loses the ball to James. Evans in again. As Cunningham breaking loose, gets out of trouble. The snap goal went offline, 1.8. Port 2 goals, 15 points, trail Glenelg 5-2, 32, 27 and a half minutes played in the first term.
Evans was under an enormous amount of pressure there. There was a couple of handballs going past. Cunningham badly wanted it. Port Adelaide in attack, not moving all that smoothly. Phillis asking for the streamer to be taken away so as he can kick the ball back into play. Now the action commences again. Back towards the grandstand side. Kick dropping short. Narrow tail. Inside half forward line, about 45, 50 metres out. Not confident making the distance. He put it right across goal. Looking for Evans to leap. Takes it on the chest. Out in front of Phillis. Couldn't get the run that he wanted. And Tim Evans has a chance to convert for Port Adelaide. And trailing by 17 points. Brady off the ground. Out of the arena. Trailing by 17 points in this first quarter into time on. A goal is urgently needed by Port Adelaide. He drops it straight through. Goal number 2 to Tim Evans. That's the 3-minute mark of time on. Port Adelaide pull back. 3-3-21 to the Bays 5-2-32. You're with Channel 7 on the big replay.
11-point margin in favour of Glenelg with only a couple of minutes at the most to play in this first term. Port Adelaide started okay, and Glenelg had a really good session right in the middle of the quarter. Now can Port get back?
For Cleisha. Evans, Weston. Belt, shoots in towards goal. Evans, 1-4. Great mark. Phillis caught underneath the ball. Evans running with the flight. Belton it was the player that found him. Tim Evans being forced around onto the angle. Already has 2. The eyes of the Port Adelaide fans right squarely on number 5, and with his 5th kick, he puts it right through the middle for his third goal in his first quarter. A fine start by the Port Adelaide ruckman, and Port Adelaide now move on to 4-3 to Glenelg's 5-2, and there's only 5 points the difference in the grand final.
5 points only the difference, and I wonder how many times we'll see scores as close as this for the rest of the 3 quarters, Ian.
What a great start it's been, Ted.
They're very 2 well-matched sides, aren't they?
A fine first quarter. Tremendous effort by both teams.
Spry and Carey at the centre bounce, and Carey seemed to put his hands in the middle of the back, but it went unpenalised. For Fleischer towards half forward. Point out right through. Both players fearless in their approach to the ball. Bruce like Sandy Blake clear. As Paul Belton clear, but Graham Corns anticipated beautifully. Goes towards Carey in the centre. Ebert drops back. Carey used him as a step ladder. The quick play on by Carey. The Bays into attack. Gerlach in the middle of the pack. Jackson trying to run it through. Phillips is there for the Port Adelaide side. Russell Ebert has the hand pass on, takes the body, and then follows through. Almost the centre wing grandstand side. 32 minutes played now. 27 points for trails and Elk, 32.
Spry and Wayne Phillis. Johnson hooks it back. White can't quite pick it up. Jackson in. Cunningham has Kinnear clear. Too far for that player. Belton gets the bad bounce. Boyd a magnificent dash at the ball. Rebounds magnificently. Copping. Oh, drops the sitter. Ball to play on. Gerlach. Eckerman. Boyd. Port Adelaide run the ball out of defence with a long kick from there. McGarry medalist centre half back. Stephen Highwood, who takes the mark, as the siren ends the first quarter in the grand final. And what a magnificent first quarter it was. At quarter time, Glenelg 5-2-32, lead Port 4-3-27. Start the second quarter here of the 77 grand final. Glenelg 5-2, Port Adelaide 4-3. The Port Adelaide kicking towards the lake end into any breeze that there is. Blethyn is on the ground. Darryl Cale is having a spell at the moment. Kicks high towards the forward area. Sorrell in front position. 1-2 grabs. Burko goes for the big fist. Barker back in defence. Finds Highwood with the hand pass, and the Bays a chance to come out. Long towards their half-forward line. Carey sets himself, one hand to it, can't complete it. Gerlach wanders his way through. Does well for the big man. Back towards the half-forward line. Blethyn there. Barker once more in defence, gets the kick out towards the half-back line. Caldwell. Horn. Clear in the forward pocket is Wayne Phillis, and the pass is unerring as it finds him about 35 metres out from goal on an angle.
5 points only the difference, and Wayne Phillis can make that 11 points. Tight angle, but he is a left footer. A breeze blowing virtually at his face. Helps the kick come back. G gives it every chance. It's a good-looking kick, but doesn't quite make the distance. Peter White first to the ball. Whoops. Recovers. Now goes up towards the open spaces on the centre wing, but it's all Glenelg. David Johnson quickly tackled. Bruce Light there. Paul Belton has the ball knocked away by Hodgman. Tim Hodgman's kick towards the forward pocket. Sid Jackson. Back onto it is Jackson. Player set. White in front. Spoiled by Copping. Eckerman number 4. Opens up the way, but it's for McInerney of Glenelg. Back towards the goal square. Big Carey back there. Pulls in the mark on the chest and by cheated. He positioned his body beautifully for that against the towering Randall Gerlach. Well, he had no real advantage in weight or size over Gerlach, and he did it beautifully, the big fellow. And Peter Carey makes no mistake. And knocks in goal number 2 for that player. marks, 2 goals. Glenelg 6 goals, 2, 38 lead Port, 4-3, 27.
Carey playing at centre-half forward at the moment. Wheat then had to battle hard in the forward pocket, trying to defend for Port Adelaide. And whilst he went off chasing the ball, Carey just camped in the goal square, and the ball came in high from McInerney, and the big fellow pulled down a ripper, and was only about 2 metres out. Thought about playing on, but decided that he couldn't miss by going back and put on his second in the Bay's 6th goal. 6-2 Glenelg, 38, Port Adelaide 4-3, 27.
Spry and Pate to do battle at the centre, and as Pate's tap away, Quiggy Corwell trapped, kick away, Len Warren. Port Adelaide move the ball towards their half-forward flank. Bleffin in front, he's held. Jeff Bleffin sat on the bench during the first quarter and has replaced Darryl Cale, who went off at quarter time with what may have been a recurrence of a groin injury, who knows. Gee, there's a towering kick up the forward line. Pate sees the ball, scrambled over the line. A good bump there from David Grange.
Ted, I think that was fair indication, just that the breeze is certainly not very strong out there, because that kick must have covered all of 60-65 metres, and that was kicking into any breeze that there is. 6-2 Glenelg, 4-4 Port Adelaide.
Brenny Phillis to kick towards the grandstand side. 10 points the difference between these two sides, with Glenelg leading. No mark taken. Ebert finds Jane. That's Mayer holding the ball. Bob Pate to take. Kicks to his feet gingerly. He might have worn Max James' head on his thigh. Highwood took the kick, quickly forwarded. Warren off the top of the pack. John Spry, Farquhar, well held by Brian Cunningham. Johnson loses it to Ebert. Holt well shepherded. Down to the forward line. Evans spoiled out of it, but tackled too high in that exchange. Phillis and Evans exchanging pleasantries. Evans has 3 goals to date of Port Adelaide 4.
Eckerman coming off for Port Adelaide. Tony Giles to have his first run of the final.
Ivan Eckerman limping off also. Gee, this grand final's taking its toll so far. With a 6th kick for Tim Evans, he's shooting for what could be his 4th goal. It's on the way, goal umpire sees it through. 4 goals to Tim Evans. Port Adelaide 5th. Port Adelaide 5 goals 4. Trail Glenelg 6 goals 2. 4 points only the difference. 5-minute mark of the second term of this grand final, and you're watching all the action on Channel 7 Big Replay.
Fine effort by Tim Evans, 4 goals so early in the grand final, the leading goal kicker at the end of the minor round. His game has been featured by big, strong one-grab marks and great accuracy in front of goals, and he's standing one of the most experienced players in the game in Fred Phillis.
Spry versus Wayne Phillis. No clear tap away. And a rebound. Wayne Phillis. Big John Spry from Port Adelaide. This time Phillis gets hand of the ball. Caldwell tears through. Ebert keeps the ball running for Port Adelaide. Gets the kick in. Paul Belton. Bruce likes there. The hand pass is astray, but he's good enough to get the kick to the forward line. Trevor Sorrell can't bring it down within manageable reach, and about 40 metres out from goal, a bounce necessary. 34 points Port Adelaide, 38 Glenelg.
On the half-forward line, the bounce. Weston goes for the Bays. McInerney in defence. On the outer side, Johnson is clear. Almost takes the mark. Light's about to claim that far. Called to play on. Johnson taken out of it by Belton. Ball out of play. Poor Pigeon. Just keeps it in play. Back they go by Light. Into the pocket. Belton clear takes the mark. Port Adelaide now going into attack. Into the forward pocket. Looking for Evans. Can't quite get there. The ball goes over the fingers of both he and Phillis and runs through for the minor score. Port Adelaide now move on to 5-5. Glenelg 6-2.
3-point margin in favour of Glenelg as Freddie Phillis once again kicks in. Goes to the defensive grandstand wing. Wayne Phillis on the lead. Pack goes to ground completely. Kim Kinnear. Wayne Phillis desperate in his endeavours to make sure that Kim Kinnear cannot break away. Almost up to the forward pocket for Port Adelaide. try and take him. Caused rather, got his hand to it. David Holt comes through, pops one on the whiskers, and he'll get the free kick. Or Fleischer, the offending play. David Holt. Not quite to the half-back flank as he takes the kick. Steers it over the centre line. Offhand, fisted away by Warren. McInerney into the open spaces. Glenelg into attack.
Hodgman with the pace to get there first. Runs into trouble. McInerney into support. He is in trouble.
Gee, that was a cool tackle of Tony Hannon. He could have made plenty of mistakes there, Ian.
Hannon's kick is to the half-forward line. Blaffin sets himself. Almost pulls in the big one. Highwood in defence. Granger there as well. Western in. Highwood still drumming after the ball. Going to bounce down on the corner of the big square. Into the second quarter by 8 minutes. 5-5 Port, 6-2 the Bay.
Nobody can get a ruck knock again. Blendon there. His own man holding it into him. Big John Spry, and Stephen Highwood made sure neither of them went anywhere. Peter Mead in control. And the bounce on the left half forward flank for Port Adelaide. Graham Thorne. Big handy for Fleischer. The run of the ball. Max James. The pace is good. The lead from Evans is good. Phillis from behind. Nobody can get there. Hooked away by Rexy Voigt. He overruns it. Goes to ground. Back onto it is David Granger. A snap and goal. Ryan Cunningham successfully takes the mark. Only about 3 metres out from goal and straight in front. Well, not quite straight in front. He's being moved around on an angle now. Seventh kick coming up to Brian Cunningham. His first goal, and Port Adelaide hits the front by 3 points. That goal coming. Port Adelaide 6-5 Port, 6-2 Glenelg. Ball taken into the forward line, and the good mark taken there by Brian Cunningham in the full, right in the goal square, and he notched truly, made no mistake. 6-5 Port Adelaide, Glenelg 6-2.
Yeah, Blaffin has added a bit of fight to the half-forward line now. Port Adelaide starting to run. Ebert in control and centre. Paul Pisha running. Port Adelaide looking a little better in the second quarter.
Gerlach and Pate. That's Pate's tap away. Glenelg getting the better of the run field, but not necessarily taking it away. Sorrell this time for Port Adelaide, and a good mark taken by Max James. Gets Prosherko. James didn't go for the usual high fly because the ball dropped short, but positioned the body beautifully. Well within this player's kicking distance. He makes no mistake with the distance, but his direction is astray and gets the minor score only for the Magpies. 6 goals, 6 now, Port Adelaide, 42. Glenelg, 6 goals, 2, 38.
Phillis coming grandstand side. Once more, the immaculate drop punt. Western in there. Herco striding through the opening, takes the ball over the line. Throw in half forward, left flank. Port Adelaide lead by 4 points. Fake. Gerlach. Line ball. Ebert in there. The handball is to Liu on the half-back line. The Bay player now sends it back towards centre wing, and Carey. 1-2 grabs the big fellow, did it well. Going past Hodgman. The Bay's into attack once more. A long kick, 1-on-1 back there. Spry versus Phillis, the 2 big strong ruckmen. And Spry makes no effort to keep the ball in play and seeks the safety of the boundary line.
Spry and Phillis to do the ruck work. Belt running on the ball for Port Adelaide as a rover. Again, no clear tap away. Boundary line close, and a repeat throw. Port Adelaide 6-6, Glenelg 6-2. 4 points the difference this time in favour of the Magpies. Carey over the top of the pack, and Wayne Phillis to Kim Hodgman. The good smother. Bruce Light through the pack. Tony Giles. Beautiful smother, Peter McInerney, and keeps the ball running. The chance to put the Bays back in front again, but he shoots it right across the face of goal. Tony Hannon. They were an absolute paddock in front of him. Sid Jackson there. Beautifully stepped out of it by Phillips. That's magnificent football, Port Adelaide. Hannon into Phillips. They carried the ball without a kick up towards the centre wing, and now the Magpies in full flight into attack.
Tim Evans there, Phillis in front. The Bays come out through Boyd. A long kick back towards the half-forward line. Setting himself there is Warren. Farquhar needs support, but it comes in the form of Sorrell. Light over to Warren. The Magpies into attack. Short to Portleisha. Portleisha now, well out from goal. Looks for the lead of Evans. He jumps. Can't quite make it. James in. Dropped onto the boot of Herco. Back towards the half-back line. Kinnear gets clear. Puts it up in the air for Glenelg. Oh, to play on. Weston getting back on the ball. He's taken out. Comes to Granger. Fires towards goal. Will bounce through. Left ball by David Granger there. As the ball came to him, he was caught on his left foot. Only took 2 paces, then blazed away with a very low trajectory punt kick that landed just centimetres outside the goal line and went through for Port Adelaide's 7th goal. 7-6 Port Adelaide 48, Glenelg 6-2 38.
Port Adelaide lead now by 10 points. And Glenelg with the task of pegging that back. Takes tap away. Portleisha didn't have the ball. Now Ebert has it. Interception by Hodgman. Kick upset. Warren through. Now Hannon and McInerney opposed. Peter McInerney does it well. But the kick away towards the leader. Phillis lets him go. Kick in by Stride. Greg Phillips is there. Still in the back pocket. Takes his time. Then gets the kick away. The pack sets. Graham Corns. Kim Hodgman into the open space. The lead of Peter Carey. Won't get there in time. Yes, he does. Bruce Slater's there. He has a paddock in front of him, but no Port Adelaide players to take advantage. Noddy Boy dodges the charge. Gets the ball across to Weston. In towards the lead there of Farquhar. Warren's spoil was good. Runs into trouble. Looks for Hannon. Farquhar, beautiful trap of the ball. Loses it though to Hannon. And somebody being held. Randall Gill in the back pocket.
Glenelg gets a lead from Russell Ebert, but he's going longer than his skipper. Screws one back towards centre wing. Blethyn from behind. Corns in front. Blethyn takes the ball. Boots the Magpies towards Granger on the half-forward line. Cunningham goes past. The handball over. Ebert sits, he's in business. Boyd comes to meet him. A courageous dash. Twice. Lehu back there. And Boyd will come away from Glenelg. Towards centre wing and Holt. Oh, Rex Boyd ran the gauntlet there, Ted.
Well, he didn't run the gauntlet. He ran straight at it, Ian. And by gee, didn't that take some fortitude to do just that. But that's typical of the man. He did it beautifully. Tapped down by Pate. Finds Stephen Copping towards centre half forward. Port player 0 in. Tony Giles with the run of it. Paul Belt to the rescue. Out in front of Greg Phillips. He's in the centre circle. He'll be run down by Twiggy Caldwell. And Caldwell now will scream goalward for the Bays.
Phillis clear in the forward pocket. Oh, drops the chest mark. Gets clear. Gone. Caught again by Spry. Great tackle. The long handball from Phillips. Will find right. He's well clear. Built for Port Adelaide at centre wing. A chance to run it in. Oh, bad handball back to James. Dummy's in trouble. Needs help. Gone again. Oh, he's got a free kick for Big Red High. Max James just a little fortunate.
10 points of difference and Port Adelaide lead.
James's kick high towards the forward line. Evans charging to meet it. Over the top. Weapon. Corn.
Dead heat.
And a bounce.
Dead heat in the forward line with that mark. Peter Mead was only 2 metres away and could make no mistake with that. Randall Gerlach and Bob Payne. Once again takes tap away. Jimmy Lehu there, but spoiled. Noddy Boyd again. Runs the risk. Gets taken out of it, but sees David Johnson with the ball and go towards the forward line. Keep your eye on behind the play, Ian. David Johnson keeps the ball running. No, he doesn't. It's out of bounds and a throw in this.
Just a minor flare-up, that one, Ted, only about 3 punches.
About just between centre wing and the left half forward flank for Glenelg. Glenelg will trail by 10 points. The ruckman sees the ball once again go Glenelg's way. David Johnson over half forward. Giles up to meet it and safely marks on the chest. 7-6 Port Adelaide, 6-2 Glenelg.
Giles from the half-back line. Forwards the ball towards centre wing. Corns in front. Good mark. Plays on across goal. Jackson breaking clear. He's on the corner of the big square. Still about 45, 50 metres out from goal. Has Phillis and Carey up there. Puts it up for the big strong men. Carey be the one that flies. Phillis is in front. Players desperately trying to get it clear. Spry and Phillis both on the ground working hard for their respective sides, but the umpire will come in to adjudicate. The bounce down on the edge of the 10-metre square. Port Adelaide leading by 10 points. Carey. Caldwell tries to grab it. Cunningham through to Hodgman. That's a goal, but offline 1 point. Cunningham tried to charge through the pack then, but all he succeeded in doing was throwing the ball onto the chest of Hodgman, who snapped pretty quickly and was just offline.
19-minute mark of the second term. Port 48 points, Glenelg 39, and Greg Phillips kicked it half-back flank. Somebody had a grab on it, the Glenelg player, and it was Stephen Thompson. Certainly been a bruising game. Copping's kick not quite carrying the distance. Kept running by Caldwell. Brian Cunningham has the pace. He gets there. Gets plenty of attention. The ball over the line. Throwing. Right forward pocket for the Bays. Glenelg and Peter Carey will be adversaries on this occasion. And then Peter White in over the top with a fist away, but all for the Bays. Sid Jackson. Straight up in the air, called play on. Peter White, kick towards the centre for Fleischer and Lehu. Bruce Light, fist before Fleischer is good. Ranging wide is Max James. Goes in towards the open space, but the Bays anticipate. Freddie Phillis this time does it well. The full-back about 40 metres out from goal as he takes the kick. 20-minute mark, 7-6 Port, 6-3 Glenelg.
Ebert with a over the top of the smaller Hodgman takes a fine mark. Right in the centre of the ground. Flanked by Cunningham. Going through as well, Paul Fleischer. Back to Cunningham in the double play. The Port Adelaide Rover in towards full forward. Taken there by Sorrell. Has been paid the mark. On the edge of the square, it came in very low. Sorrell was immediately surrounded by two Bay defenders, but the umpire has paid the mark, and Sorrell will take the kick 10 metres out right in front. Trevor Sorrell towards the lake end of Football Park. Very careful, puts it through. Edges Port Adelaide, further clear. Port Adelaide 8-6, 54, Glenelg 6-3, 39. You're viewing the big replay on Channel 7.
Port Adelaide, who trailed by 5 points at quarter time, have now opened up a 15-point break at the 20-minute mark of the second term, and they've done it well. Glenelg are offering tremendous opposition, of course, and it's been an extremely physical game.
Gerlach and Carey at the bounce. Granger needs backup support. Forced to do it himself. Weston right there for the Bays. Granger over the top. Big Carey lumbers in to help. Boots him into attack towards the half-forward line. Spry can't complete it. Hodgman in. Has the pace to get out on the open. He's on his left foot. He's got in the square. No, it's Bates there, throwing himself at the ball in the full forward pocket, and the big man did it well. Fantastic effort in that first quarter when he edged through 2 goals for Glenelg. And now the big fellow has a chance again. Farquhar gives a lead, but it's not wanted. Take is 35 metres out on about a 60-degree angle. Caldwell on the move. Takes his time. A nice-looking drop punt. The umpire gets underneath. He's converted, I believe. A fine goal to the big fellow. Goal number 3, Teddy Langridge.
Well, it certainly was a good goal, Ian. The pass was way out in front of him. He had to make ground, use his pace, which we know he has. He did it well, took the fine falling mark, and then converted for his third goal, which was a good one from the tight angle. Glenelg now 7-3, trail Port Adelaide 8-6.
Jackson having a spell. Coming back onto the ground will be Darryl Rady, who was carried off between the arms of the trainers with appeared to be an ankle injury, but he's back into the play now.
The centre, we see Fleischer take advantage. Max James in trouble. Goes short, Granger. Port Adelaide prepared to run. Evans on the lead. Sorrell lurking in the goal square with Chris Herco. Herco in front. Did it well. And a safe mark. 9 points the difference. Port Adelaide lead. 23 and a half minutes played. Max James, but leaves it behind. Tim Kinnear does likewise. The boundary line close, but he works well. Finds Paul Belton. Andy for Fleischer. Boundary line and Glenelg players to contend with. Max James. Snap towards goal. He's given it every chance. Oh, Latham nearly pulled down a miraculous mark over the top of the back. Succeeded in rushing it over the line. Port, 8 goals, 6-7 now, leading Glenelg 7 goals, 3.
Phillis. Grandstand side, Carey and Gerlach will vie for this one. Carey, one grab, copping off the fingers. Is 3. Well, shows his thoughts on the whole matter. Stephen copping from the half-back right flank, kicks the ball back towards centre wing and Corn. Kinnear is thrown into the ground by Corns and he's dashed through the pack. And Kim Kinnear will get the free kick. Port Adelaide already in trouble. Cale is off the ground. Eckerman flipped off as well, and now Kinnear looks like he's out like a light. David Johnson in defence. Kinnear's hardly moved. Great position for the Port Adelaide camp. Oh, there's a lot of heavy body work behind play for the action on the half-forward line. Brady to Phillis. Phillis 40 metres out, steadies, puts it up in the air, one-on-one. Hake and Greg Phillips. And the ball goes through for the minor score. Oh, there's plenty of action there behind play, Ted.
Well, Ian, I'd say this is one of the most spiteful finals that I've seen for a long time. I have no hesitation in saying that. People will probably say I'm living in the past or something, but most of the things that have happened today, there has been no need for. I kid you not.
Kinnear still down. Oh, this is a blow for Port Adelaide. The stretch is coming around. And umpire Bennett has decided to halt play while the Port Adelaide wingman has stretched it off the arena. Will he be going out through the players? No, he's not even being taken out through the reserve gate. Yes, he's being ushered along just in case that he can come back onto the ground, and it's Ivan Eckerman who's going to take his place for Port Adelaide. Right, the action back at the half-forward right flank.
Spry and Phillis. Corns over the top. His big fist away. Warren through. Farquhar. The hand pass finds Herco. In towards the forward pocket. Bob Pake. He goes down from a heavy hit to the head. And away goes Hannah. Again with this paddock in front of him. Well shepherded by Greg Phillips. Goes up towards the forward flank. Bruce Miners there. Eckerman ranging inside him, and also Bruce Granger. David Granger, rather. Granger in towards the forward pocket, dropping back Phillis. Lethem nearly marked on the chest, but over the line. Right forward pocket for Port Adelaide now. By gee, Hannon and Boyd, aren't they giving some springboard from that back pocket for their respective sides?
Exciting football, Ted. Great stuff. Evans taking it against Carey. Corns over the back. Boyd in there. Surrounded. Back in support. Phillis. Kicks back towards the half-back line. Johnson there with White. White can't get clear, and it's won the free kick for holding the man. Bruce Light from his wing is down in the full forward right pocket, about 40 metres out from goal. Forward line looking pretty cluttered at the moment. On the lead is James. Light goes longer, looking for Evans. Corns there, great mark, big leap in the square, and pulls down the defensive mark for Glenelg.
Graham Corns, certainly not the favourite of the Port Adelaide supporters at the moment. Chris Herco over the top of Stevens topping. Got the boundary line and 2 Port Adelaide players, but is equal to the task. Farquhar now for Glenelg. Gee, does it well. Played coolly. I think he was a veteran of many games. Down to the forward line. Pate. He's hit too high by Giles, and he'll get a free kick in the forward pocket. Bob Pate just kicked 3 goals for the Tigers. A chance for number 4. only some 15 metres out, maybe 20, at a 45-degree angle.
For a man who's only been playing Australian rules football 2 or 3 seasons, Ted, he's certainly a most improved player. His 5th kick, and he's already kicked 3 goals. Will it be number 4? Splits the centre. Great kick by the Hall Bay Ruckman. Goal number 4. And the Bays pull back. 3.5 minutes into time on of this second quarter. 3 points the difference here in the grand final. 8-4 Glenelg, 8-7 Port Adelaide. You're viewing the big replay on Channel 7.
Only 3 points the difference. Glenelg trail by that 3 points.
In the goal square, 2 players.
Phillis and Evans. They've both gone to ground. Freddie Phillis gets up holding his head. Tim Evans goes away holding his head. They must have both got hit by a bolt of lightning. They're both holding their head.
Well, Ted, there wasn't another player to within 50 metres of them, and Phillis
Tim
is
Evans
obviously
is spilling claret. So's Freddie Phillis.
most extraordinary. Look at the concern on Coach John Nicholls' face.
Well, I don't know what to say, Ian. That's 110 yards or something from the play.
Pure conjecture, Ted, but it looks like
you can't blame umpires for this, Ian. It's, they'll get the blame for it, but it's just not on. It's the players who are into it. It's been a lot of feeling in this game out. I don't know if you felt it up here in the box, but by gee, it's been a lot of feeling in the game.
I agree, Ted, and this would have to be the most sensational final for many, many years indeed. I can't recall one where there has been more action in the first half.
Well, there was a goal umpire surely within 10 metres of it, or 5 metres of it, because they were in the goal square.
Ted, I couldn't believe it. The two of them were just lying there on the ground as though they'd been passed out.
Caldwell has gone to full back. But knocked away by James. Ebert into the forward line. He's going to bounce his way in. Takes the kick. Ebert, Phillis in late. There'll be a foul after disposal kick. And Freddie Phillis, by gee, he won't earn the pleasant words of John Nicholls after that one, because this could set up almost a certain goal for Ivan Eckerman. He's only 25 metres out. Well, I know we shouldn't talk about incidents in a game, Ian, because it doesn't do much for the game of football, but when they're all incidents, it's pretty hard not to. Eckerman's kick on the way, and through it goes for another major to Port Adelaide. So their lead goes now to 9 points. 9 goals, 7, Port Adelaide, Glenelg, 8 goals, 4, and 31 minutes now played in the second term.
The way things are going, it's going to be the survival of the fittest. Those that are still standing at the final bell. Fred Phillis has gone down to the forward line, but the action back at the centre. Spry and Carey. Front position, Spry. And he gets the free kick. Oh, he went to handball. But going back to kick long. To the half-forward line. Highwood in front, destroyed from behind. Poor Fleischer in there for the crunch. Taken the ground down there by McInerney and gone for holding the ball. Peter McInerney at centre half-back to push the Bays out of defence. Carey well wide at centre wing. Receives the pass. Short to Farquhar. No, that's Copping. Stephen Copping didn't play on, went back to kick long. We've had almost 8 minutes of time on in this second quarter. An incident-packed second quarter. Phillis through, trying to use strength. Even back in defence. Sorrell there. A long kick by Sorrell to the half-forward line. Looking for Granger, but Paul Weston keeps his balance well and takes the mark on the half-back right flank.
Weston looks for a lead. It goes towards the half-forward flank. Wayne Phillis there. 3 Port Adelaide players. The back, Glenn Warren couldn't get it away. Trevor Sorrell runs it over the line. Throw in. Right half-forward flank for the Bays. Glenelg 8-4, trail Port 9-7. 33 minutes now played in this second term. James with the fist away. McInerney close to the boundary line. Throw in. Wayne Phillis and John Spry again. Peter McInerney from the front of the pack. Glen Warren there for Port Adelaide, but also the boundary line. Ruckman first to work again. Siren, end of the second term, half-time in the grand final of 77, and Corns and Spry into it at half-time. And Spry, I think he's going to try and see the colour of Graham Corns' cunt. I'll give you the scores. Port Adelaide, 9-7, 61, Glenelg, 8-4, 52.
Third quarter in the centenary grand final. Port Adelaide 9-7, Glenelg 8-4, 9 points in favour of the Magpies. James takes them away from centre towards Blethen. Lurking clear was Belton, back to Blethen. Hooks round the corner looking for big Tim Evans, but he can't quite make it and the ball is out of play on the full. A sensational second quarter. Players have had the interval to pull down. Granger on the half-forward left flank. Might be just outside his distance. He would be a good 60 metres out from goal.
Freddie Phillis to full forward and Twiggy Caldwell's at full back for the Bucks.
The action on David Granger. A magnificent towering punt kick across the goal, however. And the mark has been paid to Paul Weston. Weston in the full-back left pocket. Any other moves, Ted, that you can see?
Not up here. Eckerman's in a forward pocket for Port Adelaide. They've got real problems with 3 injuries, and he's got a heavily strapped thigh, of course. Spry couldn't take the mark. Kim Hodgman kick into the open space. Wayne Phillis out on the lead with Greg Phillips behind. Glen Warren. Port Adelaide move it forward. Russell Ebert in the right half forward flank. Across again to Warren. In towards the pocket. Evans and Caldwell. Caldwell in front. Comes to Blethen. Now Highwood across the void. The Bay's out of trouble out towards the centre, but Warren's there. Good gather of the ball. Straight into attack and off the side of the boot.
Getting back in defence. A good mark taken by Chris Herco. Ivan Eckerman, who's come back onto the ground with a big bandage on his right thigh, has problems, as Port Adelaide have. Warren running to the ground. Kim Kinnear, who was stretched off the arena in the second quarter, has been concussed with a knock in the head. Darryl Cale has got problems with a cork thigh, as have Ivan Eckerman, and he's in the forward pocket and will probably finish the rest of the game there. Ball on the half-forward right flank. Port Adelaide 9-7, Glenelg 8-4. First half of the grand final spiced with many incidents. Pake, Spry. Weight down there, Pake fighting for it hard. Granger it was over the top, and once more a bounce ball.
The right forward pocket for Port Adelaide. Corns tap away and also goes to the ground. He gets a free kick. Corns in the back pocket with the ball. Pake and Spry, Pake front position. Cunningham sees the lead of Evans, goes towards the open spot. Over the top went Caldwell. Blethen on the ground, searches it out and snaps goalward. Getting back is Graham Corns, and he marks safely in defence. 9-7 Port Adelaide, 8-4 Glenelg. Graham Corns. Over towards the grandstand flank again.
Max James up over the top, a big fly. Spry in trouble. The handball, Cunningham, but Slater's got the pace in the pocket. Hooks in towards goal, but going right across and will bounce out of play, rather belatedly out of play now. Full forward left pocket. 9-7 to 8-4. 9 points, Port Adelaide in front. Evans vying for the ruck, along with Granger. Evans snaps. Taken here by Belton.
Cunningham it is.
Cunningham it is. Goal.
There's a magnificent goal from that angle, Ian.
Would be the goal of the day. The Ken Max goal of the day to Brian Cunningham. He was swamped by players as Evans went for the ruck throw in. The ball was forced into that forward pocket, and from an unbelievable angle, Brian Cunningham, as ambidextrous as any person you see, snapped truly for Port Adelaide's 10th goal.
Port Port Adelaide 10-7, Glenelg 8-4, and the centre bounce sees Wayne Phillis get it away, but in doing so, he pushed in the back. John Spry to take the kick. Spry from the centre circle. Short, set for Fleischer up. He misses it. Hodgman to Copping, back to Wayne Phillis, and the Bays move it over the centre line. Bob Fake gets in a good position. The Bays move it forward. Wheaton Carey, and Carey does it well to McInerney. McInerney snap at goal. Sees the ball elude Freddie Phillis, who's gone from full back to full forward, and bounced through for the minor score to Glenelg. 8 goals, 5 the Bays. 10-7 Port Adelaide. Randall Gerlach takes the kick in and comes to the grandstand flank.
Johnson swoops on the ball. Shepherded by Holst. Hooks it round the corner. Hodgman with the opportunity, gets a bad bounce. Corns, 30 metres out, short pass to Pake, good football. And the big fellow takes the mark about 25 metres out. Already has 4 goals in a superb performance from that forward pocket. The big fellows snapped some miraculous goals today. Kick number 7. Heads towards the lake end. Goes to the right goal post, not coming back. Has it come back sufficiently? Goal! Fine effort to Bob Fake, his 5th goal. And the Bays come back 7 minutes into this third quarter. Glenelg 9-5, Port Adelaide 10-7. You're viewing the big replay on Channel 7.
Bob Fake's 5th goal has narrowed the margin to 8 points now, and Port Adelaide 10-7 lead Glenelg 9-5. We're only 7 minutes into the third term, and the ruckman in the centre are Spry and Phillis. Spry's tap grabbed by Phillis. The Bays move forward again. Through comes Gerlach. Spread Eagles attack, but allows Rady through. He sees Pake loose again, and that's successful. Rady dropped in short. Pake has Johnson ranging in a better position. Betters the angle. Only 30 metres out. Could make it 2 points the difference. 8 kick to David Johnson. He's given it the right direction. Hasn't got the length on it. And there's Giles with a hand pass away. Gets it to Sorrell and finally over the line. Throw into the right forward pocket for the Bays. Pake and Gerlach. Tap away by Pake. Comes to Phillips, a good tackle. Comes to McInerney, well held. Tackle applied by Tony Giles was good.
Gerlach has been moved into the back pocket to Stan Pake, who's proving most troublesome to the Port Adelaide defence. Giles' kick is back towards the centre of the ground. Ebert in front. Johnson unloaded. Light goes through. Light on the defensive edge of the big square. Right, goes to the outer side. Noddy Boyd once more rebounding. Got caught that time, pressured into a poor kick, but it's Copping there. Worried all the way. Still in there battling. Finally, umpire Bennett will bounce. Between centre and centre wing, Port Adelaide 10-7, Glenelg 9-5. Very tough physical clash in the grand final. Wayne Phillis a long handball over towards Farquhar. For Fleischer. Farquhar again, just dribbles it into play. McInerney on the half-forward line. Gets a short pass underway to Hodgman. Takes it. Too far out to score. Looking for the loose men. Pake giving him a lead, but he's going to duck round the opposition. Fires one in towards goal. Into the square. Ball comes to ground. Rady there with the opportunity from the edge of the square. He blasts it through. Good effort to Darryl Rady. It's his first goal. He's come back after an injury. It looked like that he was going to leave the arena for good. But as Hodgman played off around the man from the forward pocket, the pack in the square flew. Rady waiting down on the ground, eluded the Port Adelaide defenders and popped it through. His first, Glenelg's 10th. And now the Tigers trail by only 2 points, 10-7 to 10-5.
10-minute mark of the third term and only 2 points to difference, and this game set up for real beauty, as it's been all day. Spry's tap away, Granger for Port Adelaide, and through comes Ebert. Goes in long, Caldwell from behind Evans, spoils well. Boyd in again, he's been a great player in that back pocket, and finds Stephen Topping. Stephen Topping now over centre wing. Giles, into the back of him goes Farquhar, and Giles will take the free kick. No lead on at the moment as Giles will set the ball up high into attack. It's unlike the Port Adelaide, they normally run. Voigt through again. Into the opener goes David Johnson. Brian Cunningham runs him off it. Back to Peter Voigt. Out towards the half-forward flank it goes for Port Adelaide. Highwood is there at the drop of the ball. Granger fists it into the forward pocket. Blethyn is there, beautifully tackled, and finally over the line, throw in. Stephen Highwood clutching the thigh. The throw, Chris Herco back to Stephen Highwood. That sore thigh did him no good. Ivan Eckermann with a sore thigh also. Goes towards goal but misses. 1 point only.
Well, Stephen Highwood's coming off the ground. It looks like the hamstring has gone again. He's had problems with it throughout the season, and he's heading for the reserve interchange gate, and it's going to be Peter Johnson to come back on. But on the outer side, Liu with the ball. Set ups a short play to Weston. He's at centre wing. The Bay's a chance to run the ball into attack. Giles has shepherded out of it. Weston going for a sprint along the outer side. 2 bounces. Sets up the short one to Hodgman. He's clear. 30 metres out. Settles towards goal. Puts it up in the air. And a great goal to the Bays. Magnificent football. Port Adelaide never touched the ball as it was kicked off from that behind by Ivan Eckermann. Liu to Weston. Weston down the outer side. He was well shepherded by his teammate as he went through the half-forward line. Set up the loose man to Hodgman, and he blasted away, and the Bays have hit the front in the 7:70 final by 3 points. Great stuff. 11-5 to 10-8.
Spry through. The tap away, however, was by Phillis. James overran it. Hodgman again. Cunningham tackled high. No, Hodgman free kick prior to that. To run into attack again. 18th kick to Kim Hodgman. 12 minutes into the third term. Sees the lead of Carey. Voigt in front. Peter Voigt to receive a free kick. Goes over the centre. And a mark to David Granger. Quick play on, finds Russell Ebert. Out to the lead of Tim Evans. Caldwell was there to spoil that attempt. Chris Herco carries the ball over the line.
Now looking for Tim Evans on the lead, but the problem is he's being destroyed and there's no little man in that forward pocket to pick up the crumbs. Ivan Eckermann with that cork thigh can't make the grade to get up there to pick it up.
Ruck throw in again. Caldwell from behind, does it well. Down to Corns, back to Hodgman, over to the defensive flank. Bruce Light, Darryl Rady comes through. Beautifully shepherded for by Warren. And Light drives the Magpies back. Oh, that's Dave! What a mark! What a mark!
A key to mark of the day, Ted, for sure.
Well, he's always likely to do the impossible, Ian, and that almost was the impossible. Darryl Rady in real trouble again. He copped another one on that shin. In very similar circumstances to the way he copped it in the first term. James kick, he's got to cross it, and misses. 1 point only. Port 10-9, Glenelg 11-5, 2 points to difference, and Twiggy Caldwell to kick the ball back into play. Twiggy Caldwell over towards the grandstand flank.
Glenelg, Wayne Phillis. Corns searches for Rady at centre wing. The Bay player drives him into the vacant half-forward left flank. Big Jack Spry lumbers over to get the ball. No support, he's going to have to do it on his own. Robbed off him by Pate. No one in the square for the Bays. It's all Tony Hannon back there. And the Port Adelaide player can go for another one of his electrifying runs. He's working on Copping to come towards him. He gets it over to the outer side. Sorrell, grabbed high. Laid to rest. Trevor Sorrell at centre wing. Cunningham clear.
finds it at the half-forward line. The Magpies into attack once more. Blethyn on the lead, but Cunningham's going longer, puts it to the edge of the square. Evans well guarded. Wayne Phillis. Hodgman. Leo. Copping, and the Bays come out of defence. Line football. Leo's been grounded behind play. Once more we have a wrestle over to Farquhar for the action with the Bays as they go into attack. Brett Phillis on the lead. Players quieten down behind play.
Freddie Phillis on the half-forward flank as he takes the kick. In towards the goal square. It's a big kick from behind. Warren destroyed it. Andy Portlesia finds Tony Giles. Just gets the kick in towards the centre. Randall Glenelg. Right in the centre of the ground. Port's turn to go into attack, and they do. But they're just putting it up in the air. There's a great mark in defence by Twiggy Caldwell. He certainly made his presence felt since he went to full back.
Well, Port Adelaide are looking for Evans on every occasion, Ted, and he's well covered. He's got two men on him. They're going to have to seek some alternative avenue of attack.
David Johnson, the kick towards half-forward. Carey spoiled. Hodgman through. The Bays running on. Down towards the forward pocket. Phillis and Phillips. And it's Phillips at the back of the pack. Keeps the ball running. McInerney in, chipped in. The ball must surely have been over the line. It was. No, a bounce. Stride there. Could get away. Hannon again. Into the open space. Copying with a hand pass. Finds Hodgman. He goes in shorter towards Wayne Phillis. Nobody can break clear. Players pack up again and Peter Mead will bounce. 10-9 Port Adelaide. Trail Glenelg 11-5.
Desperate football. Carey couldn't find it. Farquhar snapped towards play. Play on is the call. Must have been touched off the boot. Umpire Mead had no hesitation in calling Plank to play on, although the big fellow took the mark in the pocket. And under pressure, he kicked out of bounds on the full. Greg Phillips to bring the ball back into play. 10-9, 69 Port Adelaide, 11-5, 71 Glenelg. 17 minutes into this third quarter. Phillips. Corns up. An ill-timed leap, and he's given away a free kick. Belton wants to play on, but the free kick will go back to Randall Glenelg on half-back flank.
Glenelg will sink the boot into the ball towards the centre. The big pack gathers again, and the mark pulled down in the middle of the pack by Jeff Blethyn. Blethyn calling players to go deep. Goes in long, again towards Evans. At the back, Herco, and in front, Caldwell. The long hand pass will find Johnson. That's Peter Johnson. He goes wingwards. Carey's there with Brady and Peter Voigt for Port Adelaide. Voigt has been held. 15-metre penalty to go the way of a Port Adelaide player.
Free kicks, Port Adelaide 27, Glenelg 14.
18-minute mark of the third term. Peter Voigt gets the Maggies up forward where they don't have a lot of run. Max James again. Cold play on. Thought he had a grip on it.
Looked good to me.
Just inside centre half forward for the Maggies. Carey's tap away. Bruce Light, and then Bruce Lee and Jimmy Lehu finds David Johnson. Darryl Rady spoiled by Warren. Fry is there also. Rady does it beautifully to keep the ball running for him. Gains a lot of distance for the Bays. Oh, the ball went over the line. Player stopped, but it's allowed to play on. Phillips pushed in the back. Greg Phillips of Port Adelaide. Deep in the back pocket. Goes down towards the half-back flank.
Graham Corns in front. Over the back of the pack. Portlesia grabs Corns, holding the ball. Portlesia on the half-back line. Port Adelaide trail by 2 points. 20 minutes into this third quarter. Portlesia directs play towards the centre of the ground. James sets himself. Big leap by Granger. McInerney Wayne Phillis. Weston running clear on the half-forward line. But Phillis going back to kick long towards his brother Fred. Puts it up in the air for him. Using his body, trying to get a grab at the ball. Tapped out from Pake to Hodgman. Hook round the corner, coming back with the boot. It looked to be good. Offline 1 point. Oh, not a bad try by Hodgman. Must have just brought it back too much. 1 point to the Bays, 11-7. Port Adelaide 10-9.
Again, Pake's quick thinking in that forward pocket. Getting the ball out to Hodgman to score the point was good stuff. And then Phillips quickly out to the outer side. The mark must be taken. Paul Belton is in trouble if he hadn't taken the mark. The Bays look to be running on just so much better at the moment. Brian Cunningham leaves it behind. David Holt finds Peter McInerney. Into the pocket it goes. Sorrell's tap away is grabbed by Kimmy Hodgman. On the lead, Fred Phillis, right into the chest it goes. Fred's no stranger to the lead and the pass. Started to full back and switched to full forward during the second term. Three-point advantage so far to Glenelg. Freddie Phillis' kick makes it a 9-point advantage with his first goal. Glenelg, 12 goals, 6 lead, Port Adelaide, 10 goals, 9. The pass from Hodgman to the leader of Phillis was good. He took the mark and then made no mistake with the kick. And that means Port Adelaide now, 10-9, trail Glenelg, 12-6 at the 22-minute mark of the third term.
The danger signals up for the Magpies. The Bays appear to have more run. Port Adelaide with hardly an effective forward. At the bounce, Carey. James grabs it. Ebert. Glenelg. Port Adelaide's into attack towards their half-forward line. Evans 2-on-1 there, edged out of it and free. Caldwell a little unhappy with the decision. A magnificent start by Evans, kicked 3 in the first quarter, 1 in the second, but since then he's been well held. Tim Evans, about 35 metres out, kicking towards the golf course end, uses a drop punt with effect. The umpire says that's good, and Port Adelaide's come back. 23 minutes into this third quarter of the Centenary Grand Final. Port Adelaide 11-9, Glenelg 12-6. You're viewing the big replay on Channel 7.
Once again, with only a 3-point margin, Glenelg leading. Nobody knows really what the wind's doing because both sides have scored at either end, and there hasn't been much in this game all day. It's been a very bruising affair, and the survival of the fittest certainly it will be. Centre bounce.
Glenelg, Wayne Phillis, Glenelg's tap, and again in trouble. Look at the arms and legs in there as players desperately try to get the ball forward. A rebounce. Wayne Phillis has won the free kick. Just kicks out of the centre circle. Pate leads into the pocket, but he's going short. Weston created the loose man, Johnson, but has to come and get it. Farquhar backs him up. Back to Johnson. Long in towards the forward pocket. Coming out of defence is Giles. Has time to get clear now. Settles. Will find Glenelg. A lot of pressure put on him then by young Farquhar, but the big fellow made it about 20 metres check side of the centre circle.
Goes out wide to the lead of Clempton. His full G appear to be pushed. He gets the ball clear to Brian Cunningham. Out into the pocket, Caldwell and Evans again. Caldwell in front, and G's done a mammoth job since he's gone back to full-back. That would be his 4th or 5th mark in man-to-man duels. Sorrell there against Copping, and Copping wins a free kick for Sorrell's attention. 3 points of difference in the Bays lead as 24-minute mark comes up in this third term.
McInerney a chance to set up the play to Hodgman. Hodgman is flanked by Johnson. On the half-forward line, desperate play there by Light, who ran him down, kick underway. Phillis can't quite get there. And Phillips in attention, and the ball's run out of play. Full forward right pocket, the Bays in attack. 35 metres around from the behind post. Pate. Jack Spry. Corns over the top. Spry vies for it. Hodgman in the forward pocket. Dummies. Put under pressure finally and kicks out of bounds on the foot.
Well, Port Adelaide defence, they're not certainly going to let the Glenelg forwards get an easy kick. They're keeping the pressure on as their counterparts are at the other end, are doing the same to the Port Adelaide forwards. Tony Giles to kick. Time on only now to be played for this third term. Found the half-back flank. Glenelg almost hooked in the mark. Brian Cunningham's there, backed up by Ebert. Cunningham pushed in the back. It's on the half-back flank as he takes the kick. Kick number 14. This time Glenelg completes the mark. Looks for a lead. Not a lot of leads happening up at the Port Adelaide forward line. It's a wobbly old kick. Called play on. Blethyn off the ground. Jimmy Leehoo with the clearing kick. Darryl Rady, despite the attentions of Warren, was able to mark. Over towards Carey, the hand pass misplaced. Desperate play then again by Giles. He got it clear across to Warren, and Warren's kick, we'll see Stephen Copping mark and drive Glenelg back into attack once more.
Copping at centre wing. Pike. Spry will be late on the scene. Pike doesn't take it. McInerney in support there on the half-forward line. Dodges a heavy bump. Holt's in trouble. Glenelg crashes his way through. Puts Port back towards the half-forward line. Blethyn appeared to take it off the hands of Granger, but it's been paid. One-on-one in the square. Caldwell versus Evans. Evans this time overruns the ball. Herco back there in support of Caldwell, and the ball screws out of play. Well, Port Adelaide coming unstuck in their forward lines. I've said it once, I must have said it 3 times in this quarter. Evans is blocked, they haven't got another method of attack. Blethyn, Granger, Weston all in there. Farquhar hooks it back towards the half-back flank. Almost half-volleyed there by Johnson, but once more out of play.
Glenelg lead by 3 points, 2 minutes into time on. Bob Pike. Max James will be the ruckman. James Leap got him up there first, but Glenelg bring it away through Michael Farquhar. John Spry will get it back into attack. He sees the lead of Belton. Belton sets up the play across to Russell Ebert. He goes for the short one. Granger takes the mark. In time on, Port Adelaide have got the chance to get their nose back in front again.
There's going to be some tired players tonight, Ted. It's been a hard game.
David Granger. He's kicked one. The kick is on the way. The streamers fly. He's kicked 2. And Port Adelaide go back 3 points in front. Port Adelaide 12-9. Glenelg 12-6. 2 goals for David Granger.
Well, there's a lot of players now with their socks down and looking a little bit weary. And there's still a hard, grueling last quarter to go. Very little breeze in it. If anything, it's still favouring the golf course end. But everything's set for a magnificent final quarter of the 77 Grand Final.
Spry and Pike. Spry tap away. A free kick will go the way of Pike. Right in the centre circle as he takes it, or as he kicks it. Wobbles up to the forward line. McInerney! 45 metres out from goal. 14th kick to Peter McInerney. Oh, it's not a good one. He won't remember his 14. And out in front, Tony Giles. In the back pocket as he takes it. 4 minutes of time on play. Searches out wide of Brian Cunningham. Hugs the boundary line. Ebert is there with Holst. And a throw in on centre wing outer side. Glenelg 12-6, 78, a trailing Port 12-9, 81. 30 minutes played in the third term. 10 is Spry, 21 is Pike. Spry's knocked down and a recovery to Bruce Light. Port Adelaide can go in. Ebert across towards Paplisha. into the forward line. Evans with that ring of players around him again. Eckerman with that bad leg. Snap goalward, the siren sounded, and Eckerman has snapped a magnificent goal right on the siren. Port Adelaide 39, that ball coming down from Andy Portleish's kick into the pocket. Evans went with it with the Bay players, off the hands of Kane. Ivan Eckerman with that heavily strapped try, snapped towards goal as soon as the ball had left his boot, the siren sounded, and Port Adelaide in the dying minutes with Eckerman's second goal get there 13th on the board. So at three-quarter time, Port Adelaide 39-87, lead Glenelg 12-6, 78.
The final quarter of the 1977 Centenary Grand Final. 13-9 Port Adelaide, 12-6 Glenelg. Quickly into attack is Port Adelaide. Evans can't quite get there. And coming out of defence, Peter Johnson comes short. Looking for Liu, cutting across. Sorrell leaves the ball behind. Liu on the half-back. Quickly out to Pate. Gets a bad pulse, gets a bad bounce. Ebert, short. Will find Cunningham on the half-forward line. Port Adelaide lead by 9 points, thanks to that marvellous goal by Eckerman in the last seconds of the third quarter, but in defence, Michael Farquhar takes the mark for the Bay.
9 points the difference. Farquhar's kick towards centre wing. Two Port players vie for it. Call play on Carey, can't break through. And a scramble of arms and legs. As could be expected, a bit of pace and sting gone out of the game after one of the most torrid first half of football ever seen in South Australia, I kid you not. Carey's tap away, Paul Belden. No, Andy Papleisha up towards the forward line, but Rex Boyd in the back pocket again takes the mark. 87 points to 78. James in front. McInerney finds Hodgman towards centre half forward. Rady and Warren, and Rady marks, and a quick breakaway. Rady lining up towards goal. He can get another bounce in. He doesn't want it. He makes no mistake. 3 points the difference. Daryl Rady goals. Second goal to Daryl Rady. The ball taken by McInerney. The hand pass to Hodgman was good. Hodgman centering of the ball towards centre half forward. Warren couldn't spoil. Rady quickly played on with a couple of bounces as he ran towards goal. He lined up and coolly put it through to make the difference. 3 points. Port 39, Glenelg 13-6.
56,717 people here at the grand final, and you can bet your life not one will leave before the final siren. Glenelg in opposition to Carey at the bounce. It's Carey's big fist. McInerney. Warren getting underneath it. Gets support, but he overruns it. In there, Pate in trouble, and will go for holding the ball. No, it's going to be a bounce ball. It was Graham Corns in trouble. A bounce on the Bay half-forward line. They trail by only 3 points. Tremendous grand final. Spry. Further forward by James. Farquhar. James buttering up again. Ebert, determination on his face, kicks the ball to the half-forward line off the ground. The battle of the speedsters. Voigt there, Belton hustling him all the way, and Voigt travels the ball across the line.
Rex Boyd would certainly be pleased you called him a speedster, Ian.
Well, he showed it today, Ted.
Certainly
and some of his courageous dashes at the ball will live in my memory for a long time.
Throw in and knocked away by Lehu. Sorrell through. It runs into Lehu. Well done, the little fellow, but the whistle is blown. Carey and Glenelg, and then Granger. Granger leaves it behind. Glenelg in trouble. Cunningham in trouble. Bruce Light tries to get it running. Well done, Johnson. Holston, Light, head to head. Granger can't keep it running, and Robin Bennett will control proceedings. There's a tap away by Carey. Glenelg again going forward. McInerney's pace will stand him in good stead. Hooks it back towards Corns. Warren up. Corns down. And Warren has been free kicked for being held. No, Giles. Giles quick play on. Out wide. Phillips. Oh, the ball won't sit. Comes back now. Out to the flank. Looks for Paul Belton. Belton has the lead from Ivan Eckerman. Over the top goes Johnston. Ebert first there. The tap to Bruce Light is good. Light drives up long. Caldwell and Evans. Evans from behind. Lethen into the open goal square and dribbles it through, and Port Adelaide have opened it up to 9 points once again. First goal to Jeff Lethen as the ball came down from the centre. It was kicked forward over the top of the pack. Evans couldn't mark it, neither could Twiggy Caldwell. Bletton chipped in and made no mistake, dribbling along the ground. Port 14-9, Glenelg 13-6, 5-minute mark of the last turn.
Gerlach on the ball, in opposition to Peter Carey. Gerlach taps it. Copping. Cunningham in for Port Adelaide. The Magpies go in again. On the lead is Evans in front position. Destroyed by Caldwell. Weston in support. Edges the ball out. Granger through for Port Adelaide. Hooks the ball back. In the pocket waiting for it. Max James edged off by Caldwell. Well done. And the Bay defenders smothered by Eckerman. Great play by the injured one. And a free kick to Ivan Eckerman. 25 metres out. An important one for the Magpies. Eckerman heavily strapped in the thigh. Came back showing courage when Port Adelaide have got Darryl Cale off. Kim Kinnear off the ground also concussed. Eckerman forced the return. Already has 2 goals. Chips away. The umpire starting to move underneath it. I think he's guided it through. 3rd goal. Ivan Eckerman. The shout of triumph. The strain showing on John Cale's face as Port Adelaide edge 15 points clear. 15-9 Port Adelaide. Glenelg 13 goals, 6, 7 minutes into the grand final. The final quarter.
John Cale trying to stay cool. Take off, Jackson on for Glenelg. Carey taps away again for Fleischer. Across to Giles, up to the forward line. Blethen. Quick turn, goes long into attack. Johnson in front, can't keep it running. Max James loses out. Paul Belton runs into trouble. The ball smothered off his boot and bounces over the line. The Bays with the big contract of coming back from the best part of 3 goals down, but still plenty of time. Throw James up over the top and will be free kicked. Peter Carey to Jimmy Lehu. Not quite to the half-back flank as he takes the kick and fires for centre wing.
Giles in, Corns there, but it's taken away by Jackson. Kicked across goal. Brady. Has Johnson running clear, but he's coming away on the right foot. Up towards full forward. Great balling mark has been paid to stride under tremendous pressure. Poor Fisher is short, but he's covered now by Hodgman. And White will show experience and go back and kick long out of defence.
Just to keep it away from Carey if he can.
Comes down grandstand side. Carey's going to set himself for it. Lethen over the top. And the umpire in for the bounce. 15-9 Port Adelaide. Glenelg 13-6.
Big crowd around the ball. Carey's tap away, but Sorrell gets it clear. Back to Peter White. Back towards centre wing. Andy Fleischer out there. Too far. Throw in. Centre wing. 99 points Port Adelaide. Glenelg 84. Just on 9 minutes of the last term played. Carey's tap away. Ebert through. He can bounce his way into attack. Carries it towards centre half forward. Then goes for the lead of Evans. In front it was Johnston. Cunningham swoops onto the loose ball. Snaps back towards the goal square. No mark taken. Chris Herco waits too long. A good tackle, but he's got good backup in Twiggy Caldwell. Caldwell waits. Allowed to play on. Bruce Light finds Max James. Just gets his boot to ball. Nutty Boyd again. Back to Twiggy Caldwell. From the back pocket, the Bays move towards centre wing.
Carey sets himself, just gets there in time on the half-back line. Hodgman is running out in front of the Rover. Poor Pleasure closing on him now. Thought about playing on, but goes back wisely as it turns out. Hodgman, just the attack side of centre wing. Screws a nice looking kick towards the centre half forward position. Voigt, back to Jackson. Grubbers one up towards full forward. Phillis there by himself. Phillis closing on him now. Fred Phillis from about 10 metres out, hooks it round towards goal. And Hannon runs it through for a point. And the Port supporters breathe again. Gee, Phillis was about 10 metres clear of opponent there, Ted. Had the ball sat for him quickly. Could have been a goal.
14-point margin in favour of Port Adelaide as Greg Phillips kicks to the defensive flank, the grandstand flank. Tiredness creeping in, not for Kim Hodgman. He gets there, beautifully tackled. No, he's not beautifully tackled. Big by Andy Fleischer. Just out of distance, perhaps, 45 to 50 metres. 27th kick to Kim Hodgman for Glenelg Grove. Taking his time, Carey in short. Oh, gee, there's a dangerous move. Port Adelaide. Didn't see that. Carey must have run 30 yards or loped 30 yards to get there, Ian. Now he's well within the big fella's kicking distance.
Gerlach picked up the move, Ted, but he couldn't make the metre to get up there. Has two. 45 metres out. Carey struggling for distance. It's going to be touch and go in the square. Look at the pack of players there. Fisted through by Hannon. Concedes a point and wisely done by the youngster.
13 points the difference. 13-8. Glenelg, Port. 15-9. Greg Phillips this time to the outer flank. Bruce, Max James gets it down to Bruce Light. Out in front of the run of Tony Giles. No, Len Warren. Len Warren into the forward area. Bruce carried away from Tim Evans. Noddy Voigt runs into the tackle of David Granger. And he's been free kick. Noddy Voigt to take it at centre half back. David Granger, he won't change his mind, son. 14th kick to Rex Voigt. Short, dropping back Paul Weston. Between centre half back and the centre line as he takes the kick, goes towards centre half forward.
Setting himself is Voigt. In front, takes the mark. Graham Corns couldn't get off the ground on that occasion. Peter Voigt at centre half back has put in a superb performance. 12 kick. Going to the outer side. But we see a free kick being given upfield by the other umpire. A free kick being given right upfield some 60 metres when Cunningham was tagged. And he'll take the kick just the attack side of the centre circle. Cunningham now to put Port Adelaide into attack. Short pass, too far for Light. Oh, that was dangerous football. Jackson breaks clear. At centre wing, the Bay's into attack again. Looking for Rady on the outer side. Warren has to chase and the ball goes out of play. Half forward left flank. Port Adelaide 15-9-99. Glenelg 13-8-86 and we've played 13 and a half minutes of this grand final.
Ruckman, Wayne Phillis and Randall Gerlach. Brian Cunningham in front, he's been leading. See what he does with this kick. Getting plenty of leads. 19th kick, Brian Cunningham. Big Spry in the middle of the pack. Pulled one down. Very needed one, that was it. He was outnumbered 3-1. Out wider we find Paul Belton. Into the forward pocket. Andy Fleischer can't make it. Glenelg glues the ball back towards Fleischer. He can run into the goal square. He's got Tim Evans out on his own. Finds that player 25 metres out from goal.
Great play, Fleischer.
Well, he had to suck Twiggy Caldwell in. How would you like to have had Twiggy Caldwell's dilemma on that occasion?
He had to take off, Ted. He had no alternative.
However, Tim Evans has got 5 to his credit so far. He's got 6 to his credit. Listen to the Port fans roar. And Port Adelaide, 16 goals 9, 105. Lead out on Glenelg, 13 goals 8, 86.
Well, the big question on everybody's lips down here, especially the Port Adelaide, will they break their 12-year drought? I would think that Jeffrey Potter and John Cale, who both played in the last premiership side in 1965, would love to know whether they will at last break through after their disappointment of last year. Ashley McKay, the runner there. Russell Ebert, who vows and declares that a premiership is greater than his 3 Magarey medals.
A 19-point margin to the Magpies, and Spry to Cunningham to the lead of Evans. Evans can't complete the mark. Taken away by Weston, and David Johnston successfully marks. A quick play on, they have to move it. Russell Ebert, he can bounce his way into attack. Into the forward pocket he goes. Jeff Fletton is there. The experience of Fletton running into the open space, creating the lead for his skipper to kick to worked. Jeff Fletton is on a very tight angle. The breeze is blowing perhaps a little right to left across his body. The drop punt on the way, the goal umpire into position, but 1 point only. 20 points the difference. Port Adelaide 16-10, Glenelg 13-8.
John Nichols and Peter Marker looking most concerned, flanked by Chairman of Selectors Alan Crabb. For the kick in by Caldwell, coming grandstand side. Carey sets himself, Spry there as well, in the middle of the pack, taken by Copping. Forwards the ball towards centre wing. Corns in front, Wade from behind, fists the ball out of play. Centre wing, Port Adelaide crowd sensing victory in 1977, the centenary year. Leading by 20 points. Can the Bays come back? Gerlach, Wayne Phillis, Ebert giving it his all. Down to Cunningham. Out goes the short pass. Granger drops the sitter. Four-piecer in support. Flanked by Cunningham. Port Adelaide running into attack. On the lead is Evans. A perfect pass. Magnificent football.
15-metre penalty.
Port Adelaide running on brilliantly in this final quarter. The Bays giving it their all. But Evans, only now 25 metres out, has 6 goals. Chance to make himself the mayor of Port Adelaide. Ninth kick, and he drills the centre. Port Adelaide going from strength to strength in the grand final. 7th goal to Tim Evans. And at the 17-minute mark of the grand final, Port Adelaide 17-10, 112, lead Glenelg 13-8, 86. You're viewing the big replay on Channel 7.
17.5-minute mark, and Port Adelaide lead out now by 26 points. A very handy lead indeed, and Glenelg with a superhuman task in front of them. Spry and Wayne Phillis on the ball. Spry's tap, he's done, he gets his tapped away. Cunningham, a danger player. Out in front of Tony Giles, all throws it away, throwing the ball, quite rightly. Peter McInerney to take the free kick. Glenelg must get that ball into attack quickly. 7 minutes plus time on to play. And the Bays go straight up in the air.
A high kick. Down towards Carey, gets a bad bounce. Farquhar got Johnson clear. Goes over towards that player. On the half-forward line, the Bays need a goal. Won't make the distance. In the square, Phillis sets himself, they fly. Jackson off the pack, snaps truly. I think he's got a goal. The Bays come back. Great goal, the experience of Cindy Jackson then. As the ball came in high, there must have been 7 or 8 players waiting in the square for the mark. But Jackson read it beautifully in front of the pack. As it came off, onto the left foot. The kick barely made the distance, but he's put a valuable goal on the board for Glenelg. They trail 14-8 to Port 17-10.
Centre bounce. Carey's knock away. James couldn't get it clear. McInerney runs the ball into attack. Another lead. Freddie Phillis makes no mistake. The Bays not to be denied. 20 points the difference. Freddie Phillis can make that lead 14 points. Hit good. The goal umpire sees it through. 14 points the difference as the Bays fight back that goal of Freddie Phillis. 2 goals to Freddie Phillis now. Port Adelaide, 15 goals, Glenelg 15-8, trail Port, 17 goals 10, 20-minute mark, so it's 5 minutes plus time on the play.
Well, when people were just starting to leave the ground thinking that Port Adelaide had it sewed up, the Bays make their bid at the 20-minute mark. 2 quick goals, and the grand final's not over yet. 14 points the difference at the bounce.
Spry and Phillis again. This time James gathers cleanly, goes towards the wing. Bruce Leiter's there, outnumbered, but locks the ball up under the bodies. Just outside the square, towards centre wing. Phillis and Spry again. This time Spry takes possession. Max James tears clear towards the forward line. Caldwell and Evans. The bounce of the ball towards Eckerman. Gets a foot to the ball, but offline. 1 point only. 21 points the difference. Port 17-11. Glenelg 15-8.
15 points, Ted, not 21.
Sorry, 15 points there. Thank you. Twiggy Caldwell. Towards the half-back flank. Corns with 2 bites, couldn't quite get there. Poor Fleischer, pulled off it. Copping, goes short. David Holst. Towards the centre of the ground. Max James in late. Carey spoiled. Ebert. Hand pass into the open space. Corns was there at the boundary line. 15-8 Glenelg, 17-11 Port.
A desperate struggle. A tremendous struggle. A great grand final. Wayne Phillis gets the tap. The handball goes from James towards Belton. Through comes Boyd. A typical dash of the ball. Players throw tired bodies on top. And another bounce.
By gee, Max James looks tired.
He can hardly raise the gallop. A bounce on the half-forward line. Port Adelaide slightly in attack. Spry gets up high. McInerney grabbed there by poor Fleischer. And once more, can't get it clear. Players giving their all.
Poor Fleischer being sent to the back line.
A whole season of sweat and toil. And these are the last closing minutes of 1977. Great mark in defence by Tony Giles, is it?
Yes.
Coming up, very sore. He lobbed on his back. Peter Wood breaking clear on his flank to help if needed. Tony Giles' 10th kick from the half-back flank.
Tony Giles, who came on during the second quarter, has played well on that half-back flank, as they all have. Blatham in front. The back James couldn't take it. Yes, it's been paid to James. No, it's been paid to Blatham. No, James.
If he can get up to take it.
He cannot get up to take it. 23 minutes played, 2 minutes plus time on. In a 15-point margin to Port Adelaide.
There's been 7 goals in this last quarter, Ted, so there could be at least 3 to 4 minutes or maybe even 5 of time on. That gives about 7 minutes left in 1977.
Gerlach leads, but James kicks longer towards the pocket. Oh, Glenelg, Wayne Phillis takes the mark in the back pocket. Glenelg now need to move the ball again up forward quickly towards the height of Carey and the leap of Corns, and it's over the top at the height of Carey and the pace of Hodgman towards the forward line, but again Tony Giles stands firm. Sid Jackson under the ball, the pass not good. Tony Giles looks for a lead and can't get one. Port Adelaide haven't got the run at the moment. Up in the air it goes. Granger in front. Corns reads it best. Takes the mark. Glenelg looked to have a bit more run in their legs, Ian, to me.
Hodgman, Ted, they certainly haven't given up. 24 minutes into the final quarter, but they've got to score 3 goals, and they've got 3 to 4 minutes to do it. Hodgman, short. Weston, the handball has put Johnson under pressure from Belton. Light there, a chance for Port Adelaide now. Light under pressure too, runs it towards Ebert. Ebert's flanked now by poor Fleischer. Port Adelaide's go in once more. A long kick towards full forward. Chris Herco, Johnson can't get it. No, he's been paid. Peter Johnson paid the mark, about 25 metres out. The Sands of 1977 running
Port
out for the
Adelaide have
base.
run an extra man in defence, which means there'll be one light in attack, Ian.
Closing it down, Ted. On the half-forward line, Lehu, Sorrell, Corns. Sorrell comes out with it. Cunningham, short as James, finds that player, and no doubt James will go back and take more valuable seconds to eke out 1977. Max James, almost into time on. Towards Evans. Twiggy Caldwell comes out of defence. Drives long.
25-minute mark and Glenelg into attack. Carey there fighting, Spry there also on top of the ball and a bounce. Almost on the half-forward flank for Glenelg. What a bruising encounter it's been. No wonder the players are starting to tire. As well they might. Nobody goes for the knock. Ebert can't break clear. Hulse does, and then Peter White threads his way through the pack. Jimmy Lehu gets under it. Glenelg will go back into attack. Looking for leads. Waits too long. It's out in front of Darryl Rady. Doesn't set for him. Len Warren through. Locks it up underneath him. Sid Jackson in on top of it. Tony Giles also arrived on the scene and a bounce down between centre and centre wing. 1 minute of time on play. 15 points of difference still. David Johnston with the ball out towards the flank. Warren gets the bad bounce. Darryl Rady, who's had 2 bad knocks in the leg. Can he muster enough pace? He does. He gets it out to David Johnson. He can run to the goal square if he wants. But he drives the kick in. It's touched through. 1 point. The Bays needed that goal. 15-9 the Bays. 99 points. Port 17-11, 113. A 14-point margin.
Kick in by Phillips. On the lead is Belton. Belton in the back pocket will lock it up a bit more. Hannon runs on. So does Cunningham. But Belton taking seconds, valuable seconds. Back towards centre wing. It's all copping there. Fisted away by Sorrell. Chance for Blatham. Poor Peter going past. Port Adelaide into attack once more. Towards the half-forward line, Granger. Johnson back there and the ball out of play once more. 2 minutes into time on. 14 points in favour of Port Adelaide. The Magpies hanging on like grim death. Granger exhausted. Everybody exhausted. A tremendous final. Glenelg hooks it back, but it's straight to Voigt. Hodgman having a great grand final. Short. Farquhar at centre wing. Not a lot of run there from the Bays. They've got to play on quickly. It's going to be short. Hannon throws himself at the ball. Jackson in late. And Hannon goes down. Good solid shoulder-to-shoulder bump. Tony Hannon's okay. Played a fine game. Only a teenager. Standing into the back pocket for the injured Carl Fragamini. And the youngsters got a chance maybe of playing in a premiership side in 1977.
Brian Cunningham, who's been a good player for Port Adelaide all day, and particularly the last half, with his 24th kick. Towards the half-forward flank, free Port Adelaide Guernsey's there, but Graham Corns pulls in an almost miraculous pass. And the half-back flank as he takes it. 3 minutes of time on now, ticked away. The sands of time running out for the Bays as Spry spoiled. Morplicia there, copping to Hodgman. Into the open space. Hulse into trouble. Bruce Light bumps him out of the play. David Hulse, unsighted from the tackle of Light, goes to ground and a bounce necessary. David Hulse, badly winded. Peter Mead whistles time on. This will add to added time in the last quarter. Can't be whistled up, can it? Ian, once we're into time on, of course. A bounce. Comes towards Corns. Into the forward line. Freddie Phillis, the strength won on that occasion. The strength and the experience. 4 minutes of time on play. And 14 points the difference. Freddie Phillis can make it 8. Ninth kick to Fred Phillis. Freddie Phillis has kicked 2 since going to full forward. Looks pretty good. He's threaded it through. 3 goals to Freddie Phillis and an 8-point margin in favour of the Magpies. And 4.5 minutes of time on play. Can the Bays get out of this one? John Cale would love to know the answer.
What an incredible fight back. Full marks to Glenelg. They looked for all the world that they were gone. Port Adelaide leading by about 5 goals halfway through the last quarter, but the Bay's courage has brought them back. They're 8 points down, 5 minutes into time on. 2 goals will win it for them. Can they do it? At the bounce.
The ruckman, Gerlach and Carey. Carey's tapped down to Hodgman. Over towards the half-forward flank. Brady forced a battle against Bruce Light. Goes in shorter, looking for Paul Belton. Finds that player. Cunningham running into the forward line again. Herco, tall, leaves it behind. Going forward is James. High it goes. Evans there, knocked away by Johnston. Hand passed away by Johnson, comes to Herco. Noddy Voigt's there, the hand pass towards Johnson. Bruce Light intercepts beautifully. He has Evans loose in the pocket and fires to that player. He marks and will take as long as he can to kick the ball.
Look at the tension on John Cale's face. In fact, the whole camp of Port Adelaide. This is it. Can it be for John Cale? Imagine what's going through his mind.
7 goals so far to Tim Evans. The kick. He's going across the face of goal and will go out of bounds on the full. Still a margin of 8 points only, and Graham Corns to try to get Glenelg moving up forward. 31 minutes played in the final term.
Corns back towards the half-back line, coughing in there. Leo Fletton comes out, dribbles it along the line, but once more valuable seconds sticking by. Ball out of play, full forward pocket. 7 minutes of time on. Port Adelaide, there it is! Port Adelaide, the premiers in 1977, centenary year, and triumph for John Cale. One of the greatest South Australian players ever. He has now achieved the ultimate, coaching Port Adelaide to the premiership in 1977. But it would be remiss not to mention the tremendous effort that John Nichols and Glenelg have put up in this grand final to make it one of the most memorable grand finals in the history of the South Australian National Football League. Final scores at Football Park. Port Adelaide 17 goals 11. 113 has defeated Glenelg 16-9, 105.
Taken us a bloody long time, but by Jesus, worth it.